Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. Let me sorry about that. I was listening to a meditation video, but I want to talk about some things about the UFO, about the what they're talking about on the news and shit like that. Well, the reason I'm talking about this is because what time is it? It's like 4 in the morning, 4:02. So, anyways, so I was hanging out with basically my friends now, like my family, that I've been knowing for like since I was like 12 or 13 years old. So, we were talking about extraterrestrials and shit. And we were talking about the UFOs, and we were also talking about because one of my friends, my friend, his brother, were all in the car, and he's like, "Damn, man! Like every time I hang out with you guys, like we always talk about nature and stuff like that," which he doesn't mind. He's just saying it, and he's seen some stuff like trees are cutting down and everything like that. Over here, where I live at, they cut a lot of trees over here, and that's for a reason. That's for a fucking reason. I was gonna give my opinions of what they were saying or what they were talking about, but everyone was talking, so I couldn't get my opinions out anyway. But the reason of this, the reason we were all talking about this is because I mean I already know deep down like what it is. Like you guys know my videos and everything like that. So when the sister, my friend's sister, she was talking about it. She was talking about the UFOs of how what they're describing on the news and stuff like that. Saying that it's a national threat and everything like that. And the reason I'm talking about this now is because I want you guys to know that when the public people talk about UFOs, and I'm talking about like the public people, and they talking about the invasion, quote unquote invasion, like they talk about in the news. Oh, we need to take this seriously. Yeah, you need to take it seriously because the people that are back to this planet are here to make order. Balance, and also to take you motherfuckers out, because sooner or later, like the thing is, guys, you gotta think here. If they're talking about UFOs and they're talking about a national threat and they should take it seriously, they know what's gonna happen to the sun soon. Okay? Yeah, I just watched Remake video let's see. of Gamma is soon to touch the ground. I just recently saw that. And it's true. It is. Why wouldn't it? For crying out loud, I went to like job interviews. Basically, I went to it was like a con that you can get stuff, because there was no job applications that people were passing out. There was like probably 2 or 3, but overall people were just passing out goodies and stuff so you guys can remember them and get some stuff. And I got a lot of stuff. It was a weed place, so I know how you guys feel about company weeds and everything like that. Trust me, I don't blame you. But that stuff is going to end. I hope you guys know that. Sooner or later, we will smoke all the weed we want, and it's not going to come from a fucking goddamn building. It's going to come from nature herself. So there's that. I will show you some of the stuff I did get from them. This is one of the brands. Has a rocket. I just wanted to show you some of the stuff I got there. And the reason I want to mention that is because one of them has these sunglasses. And guess what they're supposed to do? Block UV. When I saw that shit, I'm just laughing my ass off. I'm like, and it was an orc that was passing this, so obviously. Oh no, no, it wasn't an orc. It was actually a brother. Yo, it was. It was actually a brother that was passing these out. My friend was like, "Take one." I'm like, and he's like, "Take one," and I'm like, "Fuck it." You know, usually sometimes when I smoke weed and I get high, really high, I literally put my hood up, and sometimes I have glasses and shit. You know, look the part of being high as fuck. You know, like that. So sometimes I do that. I haven't done that shit in a long time, like having glasses and me smoking weed and just having glasses and shit. I still do the hoodie thing, obviously, but I don't get like if I smoke, I have to smoke a lot of weed to be like, yo, you know, now at least. But and I know the knowledge for weed, anyways. I've there's already people talking about video. Look, I've seen videos of people talking about weed in a spiritual enlightenment way and stuff like that in the truth scenario and stuff, and I'm just like, look, I don't disagree with you, but what I found out with marijuana, I'm just like, even the brother Remedy H said that this is it. Like, this is what you do when you smoke weed and stuff like that. And I've been doing that too, and because you can feel it here and here, right? In other realms, we smoked anyways. Smoke up, people. Smoke up. Look, if you're not a pothead, then you're not a pothead. That's fine. But I just want you to point that out. You know, still get it from your dealers. uh, but let's see. Here, I want to put something here too. Before I do that, before I do that, again, I still want to show you some of the stuff I got from I got this little band thing that says legal legalized medical, you know, medical marijuana and shit. Oh yeah, I didn't show you this. Another magnet, pretty cool. Decided to, since I have a lot of magnets on my fridge, but I want to put more in the collection. So let's see. I will talk about more UFOs soon. I just want to show you guys what I was doing yesterday. So sometimes I'm like that. I got a lot of stuff. Like I got this, matches, and was it a lip balm. So not that pretty fancy, I think, you know. Freaking sweatband I got, you know. And last but not least, we got some. If you guys are a big fan of pens, I like that one. It's pretty dope. And you think it would be the rainbow of like the gay pride stuff, but it's not. It's just the color for the same thing as the ship and shit. Then this one, you see the name and shit like that. Hey, you probably can look these companies up and find out what they really are. You know, if you want to do that. So, by all means, do it. I'm not going to blame you for it. I would do that too. Shit. Background checks up the fucking ass. So, anyways. Anywho. So, when we were talking about these extraterrestrials, it just caught me thinking with a lot of things, man. And a lot of things too with certain things that me and my friends don't know, because I know a lot. I know things that they probably don't even fucking goddamn know. And there's things that, you know, because recently when I went to my friend's house, it was his birthday yesterday, and we were hanging out with his sister and everything. We were in his house. We were all hanging out, and he grabbed some notes that he wrote down and stuff like that. He doesn't really tell people, and I think we all have that. I wrote stuff down and everything like that you guys. I've told you, some of you guys, in older videos, especially in the old Twisted Skull movies and games channel, which is not around anymore. But I found out you can get your old channels back. So, I was gonna try to get in the process of trying to get my old channel back, but this system's done. It's over. They're talking about UFOs. They're talking about it being a national emergency. So how close are we? Seriously. And this what was it? This whole stuff that's happening to this planet, obviously it's for a reason, but the stuff that's happening to this planet right now, people don't know, people have no idea what's about to transpire, man. People don't understand. People are gonna die here, man. Do you know that? People are gonna die. All because they invaded a planet, their ancestors invaded a planet that wasn't never meant for them. All those people that want to deny chemtrails and what they're doing to our planet, oh, that all every that was that all of that shit comes to light this year. Why? Because the average Joe is gonna look up in the sky and see that shit and say that fuck you and be wanted to fight. Because that's gonna piss people off when they find out. Spraying the sky, then they find out that that shit can make you sick. But then people will be like, so you mean to tell me you mean to tell me all this time I got sick? It's not because of anything. It's because what they spray in the fucking sky. And then people that have sinuses and asthma. Yo, man, this goes deep. Okay. Again, going back, I was looking at some areas of homes and stuff like that. Like in the previous video, I literally said that basically everyone that never went to college is in a low income family shit. Mostly, like I literally looked in the Holyoke stuff that mostly everyone that's in Holyoke, Massachusetts hasn't graduated high school or never went to college. That's a problem. It's on red on that map. It's not yellowish or orangish. It's red, like bloody red, meaning it's in the 95 to 100 percentage. Same thing with asthma. Where I live at, the whole area. Basically, when I found out that data and stuff like that, I'm like, you mean to tell me, basically, everyone around Holyoke has asthma, 95 to 100%. When you see stuff like that, it opens your fucking eyes to certain things what these motherfuckers do. They want to call it, they want to call it environmental racism and environmental justice. They want to call it that. We're doing that in classes, and that's why I'm bringing it up. I did tell the teacher like environment racism. I literally wrote down saying that the only way, like, and the teacher, and she's an orc too, but the teacher knew what I was talking about. Of course, man, these orcs know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let me let you on a little secret. I've been talking a teacher that's an orc, and he knows all of the shit that's happening. You know, and he knows that I'm smart as fuck, and he knows that I know things before they happen, and then I tell him it, and then all of a sudden it happens. Like I don't tell him everything. No, no, I don't tell him like what's going to happen to his people. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? The only thing I told him is that people that are not natural to this planet is going to perish. That's all. That's all I told him, because it's true. That part is true. But I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna look straight at him and be like, yeah, white people gone. you know, because at that point people would think that you have an agenda or some shit, and some people think that, and I'm like, what are you talking about? For crying out loud, I just saw a video when someone's talking about coon skin. You should watch videos of that. To be honest, I might get the DVD, but or VHS, whatever comes first. But when when I saw one of the videos, the guy literally said um let's just get rid of white people just because, basically, because of all the suppress and all that shit. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, you're onto something, but you're not in that realm of like, oh, I know that's the thing that probably has to happen, These orcs need to leave, you know? So my friend makes fun of me of sniffing sometimes. He's like, yo, you smoking some coke and shit? I'm like, no, man, it's my fucking sinuses. I wouldn't go deeper into what, but every time I don't. Sometimes when you talk to your friends or family to certain things, they either go like, oh, or they want to jump forward and tell you a fact that is a fucking goddamn lie, but they think it's fucking real. You have no idea how many arguments and debates I fucking had with my friend that's like a brother to me, but you have no idea how many fucking debates and arguments that I've had with him just because of shit like that. And then people think that, oh, what, you just think you're smart around here and whatever where you say go? So I'm like, no. Because what I told you is the fucking truth, is because I planted my feet on the fucking goddamn ground. And then people want to get offended of that. I'm like, why you got offended? It's because you're not doing it. And that doesn't go to my friend. I'm saying in general to anyone that's not doing it. You guys can't get grounded for like 5 minutes? Literally, you could do it in your own home if you have wood on your floor. I do. So I have best of both worlds. I can go outside or stay inside. It's go outside to take some sun in, but when you come inside, you still have nature on you. So you got to pay attention to certain things, man. Right? You got to pay attention to certain things. And everything is changing so much in this planet already. And going back to the teacher orc that I'm talking about, he's scared. He told me that he's scared. In the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, I know why. I know why you're scared, dude. I'm not, but I know why you are. I didn't tell him it, obviously. Because, look, before I got more in tune and spiritual with myself, to be honest, I started that place around 2013, and I really didn't start doing classes until 2015 because when I went there, I didn't learn how to read at all. That's how fucked up the school system is in Holyoke, people. Okay? And especially if you're an Afro Hispanic or if you're a brother or a sister that suffers through that shit, they're not gonna help you, man. They're gonna allow in one part of the school. And when I was in 5th grade, they I went through that whole fucking school year not getting help at all. They literally probably just passed me just because they put me in a regular class and they couldn't figure out why. Because when I first came here to Holyoke, all that stuff with learning disability and everything like that, that shit was still new. In Indiana, when I used to live, they didn't know none of that shit. They didn't have none of that shit. That's why they told my mom that in Massachusetts they have stuff like that. That's why we moved over here. But one of the reasons, not the, but I'm not getting details on that. That's family shit. But still, you know, and the fact that that happened proves a lot. The some people want to be like, oh, the school system, yeah, whatever, dude. You just want to talk shit about the school system. I'm like, the school system is shit. The reason you want to high praise the school system is because you're a fucking white boy that likes to suck cock. Alright? And you benefit from this shit, you dumb motherfucker. You're gonna tell a colored person, oh, be better, but you're a fucking white man. Go fuck yourself, man. Go fuck yourself. You have more privilege than I do, at least for right now. For right now. Because that shit will end. Okay? That shit will end. And some of you Caucasians hate it. Some of you fucking orcs hate it. And too bad. Too fucking bad. What did I fucking said? You should have never fucking goddamn came here to begin with. So don't get fucking pissy that your people are gonna fucking die because you don't belong to nature. Don't get pissy. Right? Because at that point you're a fucking goddamn child. Accept your faith. Right? Because some orcs, some white people around here have accepted their faith. And you know what? They have bigger balls than you. They have bigger balls than these wicked motherfuckers that still want to suppress us, man. Look, I'm not going to say anything, but I have gotten messages of some white people telling me certain things. I'm like, don't come to me. I didn't respond to them. I'm just like, because they know what's happening, and they're like, can you do this? And I'm like, they're like, yeah, can you do this when the time comes? And I'm like, I'm not even near you. You literally want me to go to you and do what you want me to. It's like, dude, I understand that you're in a planet you're not supposed to be in, but jeez, man, you don't say shit like that on the internet. I'm not even gonna say what they told me. I'm not, because I want to keep these channels. Seriously, man. And people, and if I did point it out, someone would think that, oh, I'm a liar. I'm like, no, I got their fucking receipts. Actually, I probably don't, because I probably deleted the fucking messages, because I usually delete messages sometimes. But who knows? Maybe I still have them. I haven't checked, but I know that it happened to me. You know, just because I experienced something doesn't mean like I'm going to tell anybody. You know, or I might. You know, I'm not going to tell every single person. And I don't have to tell anyone anyways. You know, like for example, I don't have to tell you guys that I went to the Astrodome, took some landlines out, and a reptilian tried to fight me, and he looked like literally from what you saw from Amazing Spider-Man. That Andrew Garfield one, yeah, I saw a reptilian exactly like that. And if you guys have been watching my videos for a long, long time, you know that I've talked about that before. He literally came when I took one landline out. I was in the park. It was a statue, and there was it's almost like a Statue of Liberty type of thing, but the statue's there, and I took the landline out from there, and then the Draco literally comes to a portal from that statue, and he grabs me from the neck. He's like, "You motherfucker!" And I'm like, "Holy shit!" And I had to kick him like this, and I flipped, and I was like floating down a bit. You know how in Avatar: The Last Airbender, when Katara tells him, "Hey, Aang, it would be cool if you do one of your airbending things," and Aang had to flip an airbend, and he went like flowing down like that, and then people were like, you're the last airbender," you know, stuff like that. So that's what I did in the After Realm. And the Draco, like, me and him fought, and I killed him. I did. I took that Draco out. And the sister that we were all hanging out with, you know, because I've been knowing her forever too, because she's like a sister to me. She also mentioned that they the elites, they pointed out that there was they actually pointed out certain species of extraterrestrials. Now, I didn't ask her what species that they talked about, because everyone was talking, everyone was trying to get their opinions out. I couldn't get my opinion out because everyone had a question of something, and I already knew the answer. I knew all of them? No, but I mostly knew all of them, man. Cutting down trees, yeah, I know, they want to stop the frequency of rising on the planet, but that's not going to stop. Them talking about other species of extraterrestrials, what are they going to talk about? They're not going to talk about the Dracos, or the insectoids, or the Greys, because those are the same beings that are trying to suppress you. So what do you think they're going to talk about? They're going to talk about extraterrestrials that look like you and me, And then they're going to be like, they're the enemy. But then you are going to look at that and be like, how are they the enemy if they look exactly like me? And then that's the point when people find out that they are the enemy of this state. Color people are the enemy of the state. Sooner or later, guys, color people are going to be the national terrorists of this country, of this land. I guarantee you they will do that. Because we're that close, guys. We're that close. Again, going back, they won't be fucking talking about extraterrestrials and a national fucking goddamn threat if we won't literally knocking at the door. You know the finish line? We're on that finish line. We just need to open that door. That door is in front of us already, man. All we have to do is reach out and twist the knob and open it. And those are processes too. For us to reach, that could take time. For us to grab the knob, that could take time. For us to twist it, that takes time. And to open it too, takes time. And then when it's wide open, that takes time too. You see, you got to think about these things. When people be like, oh, wow, you talk about like it's happening so fast. And I'm like, think about it in steps. Okay? That's why I told you about the whole step things of like you reaching your hand, grabbing the knob. I'm talking, those are the steps that we need to take, basically, and we're going to take. And it's just a big example of us reaching the higher level of what we're supposed to be. Look, my friend was talking about getting guns, and I'm just like, I told him that we won't be needing it, but I understand where you're coming from. Always be prepared, you know. And he's like, yeah, you know. But I already know what's going to happen. We won't need weapons, guys, when the time comes. But hey, one time Gravity H did point out that be like, hey, I mean, if that doesn't happen, then hell, we will use weapons, you know. And it's true, you know. Not to say it's not going to happen, but the thing is, people are being activated anyways. For crying out loud, I literally, I don't know if I uploaded the video while I mentioned it, but I probably did. But I'll mention it again. I think Orion TV, he literally shared a video of a cop arresting a brother and put him on the floor and shit. And guess what happened to the orc cop? He caught on fire. So who do you think did that? The brother. He was a firebender, baby. He was the Human Torch. All right. So what do you think is what do you think is going to happen, man? Think about it, man. You don't think they're not going to be like, "Oh, Hispanic and black people, public enemy number one of the United States." You don't think they won't do that? You don't think they won't do that when there's extraterrestrials coming down here that look like you and me? You got to think about this stuff, guys. All right? But some people might be like, they won't flat out tell you that stuff, wouldn't they? I'm like, they already been telling you that you are walkless on your own land. So of course they will do something like that. Right? And then remember the whole thing what I talked about with the whole mutant stuff? There will be a time when people start looking at the mutants and say, fuck them. Like in the X-Men series or in one of the Buffy shows when all the parents are like, yeah, fuck these, these creatures and everything like that. Fuck vampire slayers and fuck vampires, fuck witches and all that. They all should be dead. Because it's like the Iron Giant movie. You guys fear what you don't understand. You guys feel what you don't understand. And you try everything possible to destroy it. In the Iron Giant novel book, a dragon is in that book. And guess what the military does? Shoots at the dragon and the dragon doesn't get hit at all. It had to take the Iron Giant to make him change. Literally, physically too. because he made him go to the sun, and he got so hot that he started looking different. All the stuff like horns and his teeth and stuff started disappearing, decaying and shit. Until he was just a normal dragon that can fly and sing. You know? Stuff like that. Like, you gotta remember the Iron Giant is also us, man. And so is that dragon. But also, they're also they're also interpretations of these of normal people and these wicked ones acting crazy and go and be like, hey, I know how to settle this. Kill people. Kill it because we don't understand it. Kill it. Kill it. Ah. Kill it. Kill it. That's what you want? Look, this is something I was going to fucking tell, when we were all in the car. I was going to tell, my friends about this, but I already told my other friend that these extraterrestrials that are coming here, bullets, grenades, bombs, you name it, it won't affect them. Atomic bombs won't affect these beings. Go fuck yourself. Go ahead and try it, but you're gonna be fucking. You're the one that's gonna fucking die. They're not. If you haven't paying attention, then you're gonna see shit that's gonna drive you fucking mad. All right? Because people think that, oh, they can't be a being that, oh, they put Superman, Godzilla. What more proof do you need? They fucking told you it. There's a whole show about it called The Boys. And Homelander doesn't fucking get hit with the bullets. Even the woman that's like even Queen in Starlight. And they all white people. But God forbid they show up. God forbid they'll call them people. God forbid they'll color. And already they kind of degraded A-Train, making him a dick, an asshole, and a drug addict. Look at Black Lightning. His wife gets drugged up, and then she has like powers and shit. And I didn't see what lead up to that, but also they show the ratio between colors and whites, the white supremacy type of shit. Which again, going back, I do like when they show stuff like that because it's real and they show you, yes, it's a thing. But the reason they put that there still is that sometimes to tell you, yeah, like no matter what you do, this and that, But you gotta remember that these things, they just do it just to be dicks and to get you angry and not to focus on things that you should be focusing on, putting your energy on some other things, So I just hope, not hope. I don't want to say feel either, man. I just know deep down that when this stuff starts happening, there's going to be factions. There's already are, but I'm telling you, there's going to be more factions. There's going to be little groups that they're going to become big. And sometimes we might not even and sometimes those little groups might not even become big groups for a reason. Because sometimes you want to keep your group small, especially if you don't know the person. You always want to be surrounded by people that you actually know when shit like this does go down. But going back we are actually gonna live with each other like villages and shit. Technically, that's what we're doing right now in these neighborhoods. We're living with each other with what we call so-called black and so-called Hispanics. So again, nothing's going to really change from that aspect, but what's really going to change is that what we're going to do, build, create anything we want, weapons, or just meditating, practicing going deep within, knowing more about yourself, you know. And I'm sure there's going to be a group of people that's always going to be in a state of just meditation all the fucking time. You know those people like that. There's always going to be a group of people that's going to be in a state of meditation all the time, and then when stuff happens, we go to them and they just have the answers. Now, I'm not saying we won't have the answers. Everyone will get it. It's just that I'm using that as an example, is because if we're kind of allowed to put it in your games and movies and books, like I've seen it happen before, you know. And the thing is too, some people might point out that I never seen that before. Like I was born in '93, so I've seen a lot of shit. Okay, and some of that stuff that people just forget because it's either not talked about on the internet or it's lost. Like it's just lost in the subconscious. Like people remember it and be like, "Huh, that looks familiar," but they won't remember where it came from. You know, and that's why you get people be like, "Well, where did it came from? I can't find it." I'm like, just because you can't find it doesn't mean it's actually not true. Because I remember it clearly as day. Oh, you probably saw something because you were young and a kid. I'm like, yeah, okay, say that. Go ahead, tell yourself that. No, no, go ahead, tell yourself that so you can sleep a little bit better. Seriously, man. Seriously. It's almost like when someone said something about dreams. Like I think they were saying that I don't know, something about dreams. I didn't want to get it wrong. But something about dreams and I looked at it and I was just like, whatever, man. Like, go ahead, tell you that whatever helps you sleep at night, basically. You know? Oh, I think it was about like them not believing that their dreams were real. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever helps you sleep at night. You know? That's what I was saying. And I'm just like, okay. I was just rolling my eyes. It's like the whole thing with the old the story of OJ video. I'm a black, I'm OJ. Okay. You know, there's like two meanings to that. That literally that whole video, or at least that part of the video, it literally saying that you're right. OJ was right. He's not black. He's OJ. And and in that part, Jay Z looks at it and he's like, okay. And the reason he does that is because it's like, yeah, you're not, but these motherfuckers will tell you you are because they will suppress you no matter what. They'll be like, no, they'll be like, know your place. Because again, it's literally what Orion TV said. Black and white is a hierarchy, and I'm not talking about color and all that. I'm talking about these words of white and black. To be honest, these Caucasian people, these orcs, are actually black, and we white. And what does black and white mean? I mean, yeah, white means that again, going back, it's a hierarchy. So if we call ourselves white, that means we have established of a hierarchy. If we're black, that means we're lower of a hierarchy. That's why they want to tell us stuff like that. But people don't want to believe it. People don't want to believe it because people don't want to believe that there's certain things that they've been saying all these years, and then they'd be like for example, if I say so-called black, some probably idiot that doesn't know, or would be like, "What do you mean so-called black? I am exactly black. How dare you say that?" And I'm like, "Okay, then stop saying the word nigga. Stop saying the word nigga if you're so offended by it. If you don't want me to say so-called black, because that's what you are. You're so-called. Just like me, I'm a so-called Afro-Hispanic. I'm a so-called Afro-Salvadorian and Puerto Rican. Right? Let me tell you something with the Afro-Salvadorians. Let me tell you something. For again, I did research on the Afro Salvadorian stuff, and for some people that say that Salvadorians, at least the ones that look Asian-y, and yes, I know what you guys are talking about when it comes to that. The Asian Salvadorians are not part of nature. The ones that look like my dad and me, basically the Afro type shit, that's us. Again, there won't be Afro Salvadorians, and there won't be no proof of that here. And the more proof of that is that when I go out to the sun doesn't fucking the sun loves me, man. Are you kidding me? How many times I've pointed out in my videos that my sisters, they they hate me sometimes. Not they love me, but and I love them too. But they like hate me in a way because I could take a tan while they can't. They look at me and they're like, "Fuck you," because I remember because one time I think it was my mom or somebody. I think it was my mom. My mom literally was like, "Yeah, man. I mean, the reason he gets a good tan is because he's from he's from that. I mean, his Afro Salvadorian side of the family is coming out basically, and um and plus like my family, my at least my Afro Salvadorian family, they were in the fields with cows, chicken, right? I remember seeing a video with my dad, like when he was visiting his mom, and she was outside milking the cows and everything. You know, so and I'm so happy to be honest that my aunt, she has like a fucked up eye, and she's not getting the help that she needs. My dad's trying to bring her over here and shit like that, but shit, shit happens and stuff like that. It's funny though. They want to be like, oh, Salvadorians are, you know, illegal aliens, right? Or they want to say the same thing with Afro Salvadorians, right? But yet, when you look at the United States map, that whole thing right there is Atlantis. That whole thing. Again, why they call it Turtle Island? Turtles have tails. I hope you guys know that, right? Mexico and all of that part of that line, all the way to South America, that's all Atlantis. That's all part of Turtle Island. At least, maybe not the bottom half of North America. I mean, South America, but the whole North America and a little bit of Canada, or the whole part of Canada, that's Turtle Island, man. You can literally see it on the map. And then when we point it out to people, they'll be like, look, I understand you want to look at it and think about it, but like, holy shit, But to me, when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, are you even paying attention? Or you just trying to amuse me? Just to piss me off. Because stuff like that does piss me off. I'm like, are you trying to amuse me just to be like, okay, okay? Because at that point, you're going to piss me off extremely. And I'm going to think about literally me grabbing your head and putting it on the fucking goddamn wall. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It's just, that's how I am. That's how I am. Some people be like, that sounds toxic and violent. Um, hey, man. It is what it is, I guess, right? But hey, at least I don't, at least I'm not literally a toxic person. Like these wicked ones or anyone that is toxic. So, anything else I could talk about too? There's just so many stuff that I want to point out, you know. Uh, the Bosco short that I uploaded too. I hope you guys pay attention to that because that literally what was happening during World War One. They were still fighting us during World War One and World War Two. I hope you guys know that, right? That was the whole point. In 1812, también, like right? So, look, again, some of the stuff that I point out with Turtle Island, look, if someone tells me that I'm wrong and you can show me the proof and stuff like that, okay then. But from what I can see, it's pretty accurate, right? Seriously. And again, going back, I understand where people are coming from with the Salvadorian stuff because there are some Salvadorians that look Asian-y. And look at me, do I look at Asian-y? My dad doesn't, and so doesn't my uncles, and definitely not my grandmother from my dad's side. Like, I think they're all Afro Salvadorian. I remember looking at Afro. You know what? You know, for anyone that been like, yeah, Afro Salvadorian, because there's gonna be stupid people out there. They're all Afro Salvadorians people. All right. And when I found that out, when I found that out, I was just like, wow. And the thing is too, también, I want to say this. Look at this. You see this? You see? Look at that. Look at that. And this is what I was talking about. Afro descendant of Salvadorian. I hope I'm saying that right. But this was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And in this video, people were literally saying, oh, I did not know that this was a thing. You know, so, let's go to it.
Hola amigos de Kilómetro Cero. Una de las cosas que les digo de las pedaleadas aquí en El Salvador es que uno se encuentra cosas bien interesantes del país que mucha gente no conoce. En este caso encontramos el único monumento que hay en El Salvador a la descendencia afroamericana. En este caso es el monumento a la liberación de la esclavitud. Específicamente es un monumento a José Simeón Cañas, quien fue uno de los promotores de la liberación, no solamente de los esclavos en El Salvador, sino que en Centroamérica. Pero hay una cosa interesante, aquí nos encontramos a Hugo Miller, quien es afrodescendiente. Él ha sido bastante promotor de la celebración anual en la última semana de agosto de la celebración de la
See, there is one thing I do want to point out, and people have pointed this out too, so I really don't have to say all that much. They always say African. They always say that. And there are still some of our people will be like, we need to go to Africa. And I'm just like, you live in the United States. You were born in the United States. And did you know all people were all over the world with different shapes and different shades of color? But yet, they want to argue with it so much. No, we gotta go back to Africa. We gotta go back to... Okay, then go. Go. And I'll stay here. Let the people in Africa do what they do. Let those brothers and sisters do what they have to do. When we help them, we will help them. It's not like we're not gonna help them when shit goes down. We help with all over the planet and all over the galaxy. So don't think that we're not going to do that. And don't think that we're never gonna do that. The hell? What do you think this is, man?
Tendencia en El Salvador. No va a explicar así brevemente qué significa este monumento para El Salvador.
Sorry about that, guys.
Dia de Afrodescendencia Salvadoreña is a festival that honors African descendants in El Salvador.
Look at that.
What happened over the years is that it's become a larger.
You see it?
It's gotten many countries to come and also represent and also pay homage to African descendants, not only in San Salvador, but in all Central America.
Yo creo que es importante el sentido de cómo Zacatecoluca retoma la cuestión de la abolición de la esclavitud, obviamente porque José Simeón Cañas decía Zacatecoluca y es un gran personaje en ese sentido, ¿verdad? Todos conocemos el discurso de José Simeón Caño, ¿verdad? En que dice, vengo arrastrándome y esto y lo otro. Y es importante en el sentido de Centroamérica, porque es un, digamos, un san salvadoreño, ¿verdad? De Zacatecoluca, el que está interesado en la libertad de los esclavos, de la gente que...
Oh, and by the way, too, guys, they have pyramids. Yes, there's pyramids all over the world, but I want to point this out more. Their pyramids look like the Mayans, which makes sense, right? I'm telling you, look at the map. Turtle Island, people.
En Centroamérica. De hecho, este espacio de la plaza de José Simeón Caña, la Plaza Caña, en Zacatecoluca, como otros espacios, uno en Tecoluca y el otro en la Iglesia del Pilar, son parte de la ruta de la gente esclavizada por parte de la UNESCO, ¿verdad? Que se está trabajando porque son elementos simbólicos, pero es también parte de la memoria.
I finally found an image in El Salvador that exists of African descent, and nothing like this exists in El Salvador. So I placed it out on YouTube internationally, and I got hundreds and hundreds of hits, and it was most of the hits were from people from El Salvador who never knew something like this exists. And here in Zacatecoluca, they walk past it every day, but they never knew the history of it.
You hear that? You heard that? They never knew it, and they never knew the history of it. Why? Why? They live there, and they don't know about this? I'll show my dad this. I told this before, too. I told this story before. I'll show my dad this video, and he's like, he was shocked. He didn't know that shit was there. And he's been mostly everywhere in Salvador. You know? So, maybe not everywhere, but mostly the areas that he has to go to. You know? Because my grandmother, she lives very far away from the airport. I think it's about 5 hours or 7 hours away from the airport. Yeah. And he always has to drive to her house and to the airport when he visits her, you know. And I always heard stories of like what they do for Christmas. They just throw fireworks and everything like that. They don't celebrate the dead. Maybe they do. Maybe part of some. I have to check that out. But at least they don't. You know, they don't believe in that. They're like the devil and all that shit. You know, that crap and shit like that. That's when I, even as a kid, I just looked at that like, yeah, okay. And the candies are poison. Oh wait.
Ese monumento es algo interesante porque ese monumento lo hace un extranjero, Benjamín Saúl, y él tiene la idea de que los que se liberan en esclavitud son africanos. Por eso es que él hace la figura del africano. Entonces, aunque ahí no diga que es la liberación de los esclavos africanos, o sea, las esculturas son son tres esculturas, pero dos que se refieren a un hombre africano liberándose y una mujer africana con su hijo liberándose. Entonces, esa es yo creo que es el monumento por excelencia del Salvador de la liberación de la esclavitud y de los africanos.
Alright. There's about to be a fucking commercial here. So, let me take that out. Oh, damn, 4 minutes in? I thought we were... Alright, I don't have to show you this whole thing. But, let me see if I can. Let me see. Yeah, you guys can check that video out. I always showed you the title, and if you want to see the whole thing. Oh yeah, let me show you this. We can skip forward to that.
De los otros productos que tienen que ver con el comercio exterior, ni más ni menos que con la importación.
Hold on, I gotta show you guys this.
De América. Y es que allí es que surgen las leyes nuevas, las leyes de 1500.
Look at that. There were new laws, guys. The laws of 1542 or law of Barcelona. I mean Barcelona. I suck at words, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not really good at words.
Entonces dice, bueno, entonces cómo vamos a producir, cómo vamos a extraer perdón, el oro de las minas, la plata, cómo vamos a producir
Look at that.
cantidades de los otros productos que tienen que ver con
Look at those peanuts.
el comercio exterior.
Look at us.
Ni más ni menos que con la importación de esclavos, ¿verdad? Y así es como durante todo el siglo XVI hay fuentes que hablan.
That is what I wanted to show you right there. Not so different from people wearing masks, huh? Huh? When you wear a mask and you look at this, or you know what it is, it's just farther for you to be a slave, man. You don't want to think about it? Why you don't want to think about it? Because you get scared, right? It's the same thing when people want to talk about this shit, man. If you want to be in tune and stuff like this and know everything or know certain things, you shouldn't be scared. Why are you fucking scared like a fucking pussy? No, I'm serious. Why are you scared like a fucking pussy? Oh. How many times do I have to say, you are stronger than them? You scared of fucking pedophiles? Okay. No, okay. No, okay. No. You are scared of fucking people that eat children. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't fucking talk to me. You gonna be scared of a fucking person like that? Are you serious? I don't even want to know you. I don't. When the time comes, just stay in your fucking house, because you're not going to do shit. I am dead serious. You're not going to do shit. You're not. You're not going to do shit. And if you did, you would literally probably have an orc with you. And he will fuck everything up for you. Alright, I'm gonna have to show you this. It was going to go to another commercial. But yeah, you can look at that stuff up, guys, if you want to, so. Let's see. 19%. And alright. I know these videos go long, guys, but sometimes I just like to shoot the shit. I just like to get my thoughts, my opinions out there. And yes, I guess this would just be another just talking video. So put that there. Right. So the seven deadly sins theory. So if you guys haven't watched The Boys on Amazon Prime, it's really good. Now, if you haven't watched it, you haven't watched it. That's fine. Season 3 is coming soon, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm just like blown away by the whole thing, you know. And that new show too called Upload. I recently saw a few episodes of it, and I'm just laughing my ass off. And I'm just like, oh yeah, it's really good. It is. It's really good. Watch Upload. Watch Upload. Okay, it's exactly what these motherfuckers want. And since my dream is to be a video game designer, that's one of my things I like to do. You know, because when I have RPG Maker and I'm making a video game, like I got stimulated. My mind got stimulated. I feel like a little kid, you know, and I felt like a mad scientist putting things together. I loved it. I really did. It put a smile on my face, man. I felt like a little kid, a baby. I felt like a baby, and I felt like a kid. And that's what you're supposed to feel, man. You know, because you're following your dream, man. And I haven't touched my game in a while, but because there's certain things I'm still figuring out and want to change and everything like that. and it's that shit's gonna take time to prototype. I'm not gonna rush it, you know. Um, but that's been my dream, you know. And the fact that you see up if you see the show upload, you have a sister literally creating avatars for people that put their consciousness in the cloud, basically, in the metaverse. And my friend literally told me, "Hey, you would still have a job in this type of field." And you know what? You're right. I still would have had a job, basically, because I told myself too. You guys want to replace people with robots with walkers, but how are you going to make video games? A robot can't make a video game. You literally need a person to make it. So how are you going to do that? You see? They need video game programmers to help with this meta stuff, and I already knew that. I already knew it. We're kind of loud, man. They show you it in Ready Player One, especially if you read the book. I do have the second book. I haven't read it because I let my friend borrow it, and he hasn't read it because he hasn't finished the first book. He was in the end of it, but he just never finished it. So, it's great. I mean, I like it for crying out loud. There's a big giant kaiju battle that happens. Same thing with the Iron Giant um book, but the only difference is with the book is that the military shoots at the dragon, so you get like this kaiju fight. I don't think it's that long. It's probably like 1 page or two. It's the same thing with Iron Giant versus Mega Godzilla in Ready Player One. It's like two. It's like literally a few dialogues in like 1 page, and I'm just like, that's it. That's it. You're gonna have a whole battle, and you're not gonna fucking have like a few pages. That's just me, man. That's me as a person that likes to write, be creative, and everything like that. Because look, a lot of people want to be like, why all people feel these type of things? It's because we are gods and goddesses, guys. We create shit, and it becomes real. We are meant to be. We are meant to be creators. Okay, we are meant to. You know how many things that I've created? I created a monster plush that eventually evolved and became my wife in the Astro Realm. And I found out too I have other wives that these beings interpret either in anime or fan art and shit. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, if I told anybody, they'd be like, I'm crazy. And I'm looking at that stuff like, oh, my goodness. Literally, I'm not playing with you. I'm looking at that shit and like call a spade, I guess, you know? So, hey, you don't have to agree with me. That's fine. But know thyself. You don't know me. And I don't know you. Your journey is different from mine, man. You know? I don't know what you went through within and what you saw. What I saw is what I saw with me, you know? So, and sometimes we see the same things. That's how you know we are connected together, right? That's how you know we're part of the planet. And that's how you grounded yourself and you're part of nature. Oh my god, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Okay, I do need to make a separate video about this, man. Because if I talk about it here, it won't be an hour. It'll probably be 2 hours or 3 hours long. So I won't do that. I'm not gonna spare you guys that. I know some people won't mind it, but I just won't spare you that because I know some people want to do stuff with their lives and not watch a 50-hour video of just me talking about certain stuff that I know and certain stuff that I enjoy and certain stuff that I want you guys to know about because I seen it and I like to talk about things that I've seen sometimes. Not all the things I've seen I've talked about mainly because you know I just don't like. There's certain things I haven't told my friends that I've told a whole bunch in my YouTube channel. Some of the stuff that I've said in my YouTube channel, kind of like I'll say this: none of my friends watch my YouTube channels, watch my videos of like I'm talking about spiritual enlightenment stuff. They don't watch none of it, none of it. So there's that. I could say something about that, but I'm good with that. I'm looking at my own videos here for no reason. So just thinking about something of what could I say at this point. You know, look at what's it called? I have to grab the movie now because I'm trying to remember it and I can't remember. So am I done watching all these movies yet? So I need to catch up. But you know what, Summer? I'm about to graduate soon, so you know what? I could spend that time just doing that. I am trying to transition to college, basically. But like most people might be like, why would you do that? Why you know the system is going to end and stuff like that. Look, there's some opportunities, and if I can make money until this shit ends, then okay, cool. I'm just living. I'm just living through the system like anyone else until it stops. It's not a bad thing. Plus, all the money that I could use it for building and like collect and like gathering more food and water, for example. You know, that's always been my goal. You know, ever since like I look at Serious Temple videos and Remedy H's videos, that's like been my goal. Use my money to build or get food. You know, and sometimes I spend money on myself with mostly food actually. Hey man, I like food. You know, um, good thing I'm not fat. You know, I try to, I do. I try to look at my weight and everything like that. Take care of yourselves and shit like that. And that doesn't have to go in a spiritual enlightenment way. It's just that it's just common knowledge because taking care of your body is always good, and other women will look at that and be attracted to you and stuff like that. You know, especially women that saw you that when you were fat, and now they see you now and they're like, oh wow, you know. So let's see. Um, okay, Resident Evil Retribution. I think that one's it. Resident Evil Retribution. It literally shows Alice going to the White House, and it pans out and it shows the military fighting creatures. Creatures from other dimensions and all that realms. We were talking, me and my friend and his sister, we were all talking about that because we recently. I didn't watch the whole thing of Stranger Things, but I did watch a few stuff from season 4, and I watched the end of the end of season 4 and all that. But yeah, man, those creatures you've seen in Stranger Things, those are real. They're in different dimensions. Sometimes they're in our dimension too, but you just don't see it because you're in the physical. Like I even told my friend, even Isis Wisdom point this out. A great of race could be another big universe, and you won't even know that there's a universe in this planet, and it could be small as fuck, and you won't even know it. Kind of loud. It could be a rock, and you could pass it, and you won't even know it. I'm serious, man. Have you ever saw Horton Hears a Who? They told you right now, man. A person is a person, no matter how small the person is. By the way, if you look at the book, or I think the animated movie, the Grinch is in there. The Grinch is it's funny. Like if you look at the perspective of the Who's, outside of their bubble, their heaven, there's like an elephant god in their minds, and then beyond Horton's world, there's other things. Man, you see how they try to, you gotta think, people. You gotta think. You gotta look at these movies more deeply, people. And Dr. Seuss, man, Dr. Seuss know exactly what he's doing. That racist piece of shit. He knew exactly what he was doing. Damn. The trash is shit. The trash people here. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I woke up like around 4 because I went to sleep and shit like that. And now you can hear them right now. I don't think I'll be able to sleep just because I woke up. But then I'll be tired to go to classes because then I'll be sleepy. But watch these movies, guys. I recently watched The Force 2 not so long ago. And to be quite honest, they still hold up. The first one, I mean, the second one is now going to be like the first one, movie-wise. But again, watch them. Watch them. Do not take these movies for entertainment. Watch them. All these movies that you have in your house are documentaries. So treat them as such. Documentaries. And I'm talking about documentaries. Some of those documentaries are just flat out fucking lies and fakes. So that's why you gotta look at these movies. They're documentaries. When people be like, oh, when are we gonna get disclosure? I'm like, disclosure has already been happening. Look at your movies. There was a YouTuber that I saw, she was Asian, and she literally pointed that out too. And that was before I found out about these orcs and all that. And I was just like, thank you. Thank you. I'm just like, I'm looking around like, thank you. I'm not the only one that fucking knows this. And this woman's a fucking orc. Before I found out, of what more of an orc was. Because around that time I was hearing orc, but I didn't knew of like, oh, orc? What's an orc? Like, who's an orc? And then people were saying white people, Caucasian people. I'm like, what? They don't look like orcs. I was just like thinking of it. And then I heard the history, the backstory, and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense now. So, it was just things that you learn along the way. Some people might know it before you, and that's fine. So, sometimes these things don't come to you until certain times. And that's fine. That's totally fine. So, because it's the law of the universe. It's almost like no one can't come here and evolve our spiritual growth. It's like that. But guess what? This planet has been invaded more than once. And in a way, it has been, I'm not saying the planet has been doing a good job. The people that in it have not been doing a good job doing that. But don't worry. We will we will change that. We will change that. I think that's it. I think I'm done. I'm just thinking of other things, man. I am gonna probably make. You know how I did the Sensor 11? I'm thinking of doing Ab original. Aboriginal people. Putting them shorts like the Looney Tunes one. The ones that I know that are part of the Aboriginal stuff, I put it. Even mostly the Sensor 11 or the Sensor 19 should be all in that list. So, and then all the Bosco shorts, yes, that one does, and some of the Bugs Bunny ones, especially the one when Bugs Bunny's killing those Native Indians. People want to be like, oh, those are the Gretzkin Indians or some shit like that, But in another viewpoint, it's actually us. We just want to interpretate them differently. They want to interpretate them as a way of like, no, these are the natives, not the Carbon folk. Even though there's a Looney Tunes short showing Island of Pingo Pongo, that one shows it's all about people visiting an Aboriginal island from New York all the way to a fucking island. Yeah. I made a complaint about that short. That short has some flaws, but overall, it's not. Again, some of these shorts have offensive stuff, but overall, like if you see in a different viewpoint, you'd be like, I see what these motherfuckers were doing. They know exactly what they were doing. You know, like for example, when they show us as angels and going to heaven on a mule and clean paradise, you know, that's something, guys. Something you need to pay attention to. So, so I think that is it. Have nothing to say. Nothing to. I think nothing to think of right now. Halloween. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Is this one it?
Season, the entrance into winter months.
I'm just trying to find a video that a few brothers and a sister talk about Halloween and the whole stuff with Jason. So I'm trying to find that. Hmm. 10 reasons why you should never celebrate Halloween. Okay. You guys do realize it's about, you know, celebrating your ancestors and past families and shit. So I'm not even gonna talk about the wicked side of it, what these wicked ones do. I'm talking about the truth of it. You know what? Like, put Halloween and put Bobby Hemmett, and I guarantee you'll probably find something. Look at that. I already found it. Look at that.
Going into the whole Halloween thing, basically Halloween is just like any other tradition that they do. That's the European tradition. But all across the world, even in Mexico and in parts of
Sorry.
Asia,
I close the video with this.
India, and even in Africa, they always have what is called a Day of the Dead.
Yep.
The dead also represents the Day of the Ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
But it also represents the underworld,
Yep.
hollow earth.
Yep.
The underworld. Now, it's not necessarily metaphysics talking about a realm that's up under the earth, but it's talking about a realm in literally another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ancestral realm.
Mm-hmm.
And so every culture has a Day of the Dead or the this Hallow Eve in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
That's the European form of the Day of the Dead. Dealing with that particular ancestral aspect. It becomes a little more elaborate, with the ghouls and the goblins and all this type of stuff. But still, yet that's the basis of this. So this is a very important day if you understand, read behind the lines in the particular aspect that we honor the realm, the ancestral realm. Give me an example how we can spook out based on Christianity. I have a skull in my living room stuck inside a black pot. So when people come in, they automatically spooked out about it. Now, over the years, some of the meanings of these things have been lost.
Like, I want to tell you this. Like, look at this. You see this? And my grandmother, she's seen that and she thought it was fucking creepy as fuck. I mean, come on. The skull and then the mirror and everything like that. That shit's creepy as fuck. And I love it.
based on time. But the practitioners still keep up with the tradition of those particular customs, although the real meaning could be lost in time. And that's what happens a lot of times. And other cultures come in, and because they don't know the real meaning, because some of the practitioners might not know the real meaning, they all relegate all this stuff into evil.
Mm-hmm.
A superstition.
Mm-hmm.
Or bad. 98% of things on the planet, we'll always remember this, 98% of everything that we call evil is basically a misunderstanding based on time and historical ignorance.
Exactly.
So what you would have is, you would have a certain tradition. And that tradition would thrive in the land, and everybody would know the meaning. But hundreds of years would pass, sometimes thousands of years would pass, and then what would happen here is you would have later generations that would come in and not understanding the original meaning of something. And by them not understanding the original meaning, they'd automatically in history relegate it over to evil. Or relegate it over to bad. You see what I'm saying? Or relegate it over to taboo or forbidden. So this skull, what is the meaning of the skull that you see? A skeleton with bones that is in voodoo culture, Palo culture, and in different types of religious culture that later on is relegated into evil. Especially in African culture, the skull, the bones, and the whole 9 yards. But even in the Halloween we talk about, what would be the meaning? Well, the ancients used to understand that they would have to pay homage to the ancestors. Now, what is an ancestor? An ancestor is someone that is no longer living on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're no longer living, that means that their physical body has decayed based on death. So the bones represent the physical decayed body of the ancestors. In so many words, the bones literally becomes an emblem, a symbol just for ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
But the spookism comes in it when we don't understand these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get Hollywood and we get all the taboo mythology that comes in and explain that this is evil.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically, the mind automatically accepts things as being evil when you don't understand it. So that's basically, but going back to Halloween and these festivals, this is our form of the festivals that you have. This is a national form or a European form of the festivals that you would have in South America, in the Caribbean, in New Orleans, where they have festivals or carnivals or carnivals. Where you would have, in New Orleans, they have the carnival, they have a Day of the Dead. You see. All this stuff can reach back to Africa and the ancient civilizations. You see what I'm saying? And basically, you have that particular aspect in Halloween. And then you have All Saints Day the next day. All of this stuff is nothing but the American version of the carnival. This watered down into mamby-pamby, going out and getting candy and little blues and goblins and jack-o'-lanterns and stuff. So the American psyche can take it. You see what I'm saying? Because the American psyche can't take anything out of religion because the religion says you're going to hell. You see what I'm saying? You're going to hell just by thinking of anything outside of being a good, obedient child.
Or slave. Anyways. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Be safe. And know thyself. And research. Meditate. Build. And always focus on you, man. If you're not building, at least focus on you. meditate and do things that are unbelievable. Take care, guys.